While we have had the most exciting holiday season, filled with friends, parties, decorating, and general merriment, the episode that I'm most excited to share with you is this one, the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Come with us as we witness a miracle. Isabella and I have made a very special trip here today. For 5 years, we've waited patiently for this glorious day, the reopening of France's greatest cathedral. It's the Notre Dame de Paris, built between 1163 and 1345, and it's a masterpiece of French Gothic architecture. It's renowned for its flying buttresses, its stained glass rose windows, and its iconic twin towers. And over the centuries, it has witnessed many historical key events, including Napoleon's coronation in 1804, and Victor Hugo's novel, of course, The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 1831, which spurred its restoration. However, on April 15, 2019, a devastating fire broke out, likely caused by an electrical short or construction work. It was an accident, but it was the only time since 9/11 that I've burst into tears while watching the news, and many of us worldwide wondered if it would ever truly be saved. The blaze destroyed the 13th century wooden roof, nicknamed the Forest, and caused the iconic spire to collapse. However, much of the stone structure, facade, and key relics were gratefully saved, and restoration efforts began immediately with the help of people worldwide with plans to reopen it. And now here we are having the most Christmassy experience of all, seeing this magnificent cathedral saved and better than ever. It really is the spirit of Christmas, and we're going to brave this enormous line behind me in the freezing cold and take you inside. Now Isabella is right down there at the very front. The line is starting there and it's wrapping around like that, all the way around. She is holding our place in line. This is quite a line, isn't it? This is wild. Look at this. On top of the Notre Dame, they are rousing the crowds that are waiting in line. Now, one thing that you'll notice immediately while you're here is that the facade is immaculate. It's so clean. I've never seen Notre Dame this sparkly before. The other thing I'm struck by is that they created these lines for people to wrap around. And there's so many people here that everyone has very diligently and politely created their own wraparound lines. And they're being extremely respectful about recognizing everyone's right to get in at the same time. We're getting close. We're almost in the front of the line. This is very exciting. And it's not a minute too soon because my hands are turning blue from the cold and I forgot my gloves. And we're on our way in. Bonjour, monsieur. Hello, merci.
Are you fine?
Oui, fine, fine. Merci, monsieur.
Walking around Notre Dame, we can't believe how perfect everything is. Following the awful fire, the cathedral underwent extensive interior renovations to restore and enhance its historic grandeur. Key aspects of the restoration included a lot of meticulous structural repairs. Damaged vaults and ceilings were reconstructed, with new stonework filling the voids left by the fire. There was also a huge amount of cleaning and restoration. The cathedral's interior surfaces, including walls, stained glass windows, paintings, and sculptures, were thoroughly cleaned and restored, removing centuries of grime and soot to reveal their original brilliance. It's like a brand new cathedral. The lighting was also restored. Historic chandeliers, candelabras, and wall sconces were carefully returned to their original state, using 90% of the original materials, which is incredible to think about. Also, the stained glass windows were beautifully restored. These efforts have all aimed to honor the cathedral's historical significance while also incorporating modern elements to enhance its beauty and functionality for future generations.
It really is like a completely new cathedral. Everything is gleaming as if it was just built yesterday. Just glowing. The most beautiful nativity scene right here. So this is an actual Neapolitan creche or nativity scene, and it's beautiful with these wonderful figures.
And now it's time to find out what happened to
the Crown of Thorns, believed to be a relic of the crown placed on Jesus during his crucifixion. It's one of the most revered items in all Christian history.
In a moment, we'll see its former reliquaries, but an astonishing new 4-meter reliquary has been created in the restoration of Notre Dame. And just a few days before our visit, the crown was returned to Notre Dame with a great deal of pomp and circumstance. We were unable to see it ourselves today, but starting January the 10th of 2025, the Crown of Thorns will be displayed for public veneration every Friday until April 18th. Afterwards, it will be shown on the first Friday of each month.
So we've just entered the sacristy of the Notre Dame Cathedral. It's a secure area that's used to store the most sacred objects, vestments and liturgical items used in religious ceremonies. But there is so much more that they have stored inside this wonderful area. It also holds some of the most valuable treasures, some of the most important things that are here, and the best known is a piece of the true cross and a holy nail of the true cross, which were also associated with Christ's crucifixion. In addition to this, there are liturgical vestments, which are priestly garments that are worn during Mass and other religious ceremonies, and other very, very valuable treasures, many of which are centuries old. Chalices, patrons, ciboriums, sacred vessels, they're all in here. But of course, the Crown of Thorns and the relics of the True Cross being some of the things that people are most interested in coming to see. They were all incredibly saved during the fire. So let's go have a look. And here we have the reliquaries that were created to house the fragments of the true cross, including the original reliquary that housed the Crown of Thorns before it was moved to the other vessel. In the late 1700s, this reliquary was created to house the Crown of Thorns. Jean-Charles Caillet, the designer, decided not to reference the shape of the relic or the medieval reliquary of Sainte-Chapelle, which housed the Crown of Thorns until the Revolution. Placed within a globe by 3 angels, the Crown of Thorns reliquary ring was not visible. The Statue of Faith and the Lion of Judah surmount the whole. The base features Christ, the 12 apostles, and the instruments of the Passion. Inscriptions on the chamfers tell the story of the relic and of its arrival at Notre Dame. Louis IX was the King of France from 1214 to 1270, and he's also known as Saint Louis, and this is the reliquary which houses his relics. And if you enjoy jewelry as I do, especially antique jewelry, nobody got bigger pieces or more glamorous pieces than the clergy. So in addition to being lucky enough to be here just after the opening of Notre Dame, we're also lucky enough to be here just as a service is about to begin.
special candle for our dear friend whose father passed away a couple of days ago. And to anybody else out there who's watching, this is a little special prayer before we go for you too. So we're leaving Notre Dame now, and that was truly an experience that is almost indescribable and indescribably wonderful. Now we're going to show you a little bit more of the outside of Notre Dame, and then I think it's off for some hot chocolate and maybe some roasted chestnuts. Oh, roasted chestnuts sound good, don't they? Yeah.
Magic spell you cast. This is la vie en rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see.
We hope that you've enjoyed this trip to Notre Dame with us. We have lots more exciting adventures here in Paris and also, of course, at the Chateau. Lots of holiday adventures. We wish you and yours the most festive and beautiful holiday season, and join us soon. And for those of you, of course, who have not liked, commented, or subscribed, if you'd like to continue to see our adventures here in France, please do so.
We wish you all a joyeux Noël.
Joyeux Noël. Unbelievable. This really is what Christmas is all about.